2 Kings, chapter 6. And the sons of the prophets said to Elisha, Behold now, the place where we dwell with you is too strait for us. Let us go, we ask of you, to Jordan, and take from there every man a beam, and let us make a place there, where we may dwell. And he answered, Go. And one said, Be content, I ask of you, and go with your servants. And he answered, I will go. And so he went with them. And when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, Oh, master! Because it was borrowed. And the man of Yahweh said, Where did it fall? He showed him the place. And he cut down a stick and cast it in there, and the iron did swim. For this reason he said, Take it up to yourself. And he put out his hand and took it. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel, and took counsel with his servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of Yahweh sent to the king of Israel, saying, Beware that you pass not such a place, for there the Syrians are coming down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of Yahweh told him, and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once or twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled because of this thing. And he called his servants and said to them, Will you not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my master, O king. But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedchamber. And he said, Go and spy out where he is, so that I may fetch him. And it was told him, saying, He's in Dothan. Therefore he sent in there horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Elohim was risen early and gone forth, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said to him, Oh, master, how shall we do this? And he answered, Fear not, for they that are with us are more than they that are with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I ask of you, open his eyes so that he might see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots and of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed to Yahweh and said, Smite this people, I ask you, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness, according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said to them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, I'll bring you to the man whom you seek. But he led them to Samaria. And it came to pass, when they were come to Samaria, that Elisha said, Yahweh, open the eyes of these men so that they can see. And Yahweh opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. And the king of Israel said to Elisha, when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, You will not smite them. Would you smite those whom you've taken captive with your sword and with your bow? Set bread and water before them, so that they can eat and drink and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drank, he sent them away. And they went to their master. And so the bands of Assyria came no more into the land of Israel. And it came to pass after this, that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was great famine in Samaria. And they besieged it, until a donkey's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by on the wall, there cried a woman to him, saying, Help, my master, O king. And he said, If Yahweh do not help you, how shall I help you? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said to her, What ails you? And she answered, This woman said to me, Give your son, so that we can eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. And so we boiled my son, and we ate him. And I said to her the next day, Give me your son, so that we can eat him. And she has hidden her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he tore his clothes, and he passed by on the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth inside upon his flesh. Then he said, Yahweh, do so and more also to me, if the head of Elisha the son of Shaphat shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. And the king sent a man from before him, but before the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, See you how this son of a murderer has sent to take away my head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door, and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down to him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of Yahweh. What should I wait for Yahweh any longer for? End of chapter.
Lamentations chapter 3. I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He has led me and brought me into darkness, but not into light. Surely against me is he turned. He turns his hand against me all the day. My flesh and my skin has he made old. He has broken my bones. He has built against me and compassed me with gall and travail. He has set me in dark places, like those that are dead of old time. He has hedged me about, that I cannot get out, and he has made my chain heavy. Also, when I cry and shout, he shuts out my prayer. He has enclosed my ways with hewn stone. He has made my paths crooked. He was to me like a bear lying in wait, like a lion in secret places. He has turned aside my ways and pulled me in pieces. He has made me desolate. He has bent his bow and set me like a mark for the arrow. He has caused the arrows of his quiver to enter into my reins. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the day. He has filled me with bitterness. He has made me drunken with wormwood. He has also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He has covered me with ashes, and you have removed my soul far off from peace. I forgot prosperity. And I said, My strength and my hope is perished from Yahweh. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall, my soul has them things still in remembrance, and is humbled in me. And this I recall to my mind, and therefore do I have hope. It is of Yahweh's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions do not fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Yahweh is my portion, says my soul, and therefore will I hope in him. Yahweh is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahweh. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sits alone and keeps silence, because he has borne it upon him. He puts his mouth in the dust, if so be there may be hope. He gives his cheek to him who smites him. He's filled full with reproach, for Yahweh will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion, according to the multitude of his mercies. For he does not afflict willingly, nor does he grieve the children of men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause. Yahweh does not approve. Who is he that says, and it comes to pass, when Yahweh commands it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceeds not evil and good. For what reason does a man living complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search and try our ways, and turn again to Yahweh. Let us lift our heart with our hands to Elohim in the heavens. We have transgressed and have rebelled. You have not pardoned. You've covered with anger and persecuted us. You have killed. You have not pitied. You have covered yourself with a cloud, so that our prayer would not pass through. You have made us like the offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare has come upon us, desolation and destruction. My eye runs down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people. My eye trickled down, and I ceased not without any intermission, till Yahweh looked down and looked from heaven. My eye affected my heart because of all the daughters of my city. My enemies chased me sore, like a bird without cause. They've cut off my life in the dungeon, and thrown a stone upon me. Waters flowed over my head, and then I said, I am cut off. I called upon your name, O Yahweh, out of the low dungeon. You've heard my voice. Do not hide your ear at my breathing, at my cry. You drew near in the day that I called upon you. You said, Fear not. O Yahweh, you've pleaded the causes of my soul. You've redeemed my life. O Yahweh, you have seen my wrong. Judge my cause. You've seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me. You've heard their reproach, O Yahweh, and all their imaginations against me, the lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Look at their sitting down and their rising up. I am their music. Render to them a recompense, O Yahweh, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart. Your curse to them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of Yahweh. End of chapter.
We come to do, 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 we come to worship. We come to serve. We come to do your will, Yahweh. Just like Yeshua, we bow ourselves. We come to do your will, Yahweh. We come to worship. We come to serve. We come to do your will, Yahweh. Just like Yeshua, we bow ourselves. We come to do your will, Yahweh. Oh, we come to worship. We come to serve. We come to do your will, Yahweh. Just like Yeshua, we bow ourselves. We come to do your will, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Micah chapter 7. Woe is me, for I am like when they have gathered the summer fruits, like the grape gleanings of the vintage. No cluster to eat. My soul desired the first ripe fruit. The good have been perished out of the earth. There is none upright amongst men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net, so that they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asks, and the judge for a reward. And the great, he utters his mischievous desire, so they wrap it up. The best of them is as a briar, the most upright sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of your watchman and your visitation comes. Now will be their perplexity. Do not trust in a friend. Do not put confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. For the son dishonors the father. The daughter rises up against her mother. The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own household. For this reason will I look to Yahweh. I will wait for the Elohim of my salvation. My Elohim will hear me. Do not rejoice against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I will arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh will be a light to me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh, because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold his righteousness. And then my enemy will see, and shame will cover her who said to me, Where is Yahweh your Elohim? My eyes will behold her. Now will she be trodden down like the mire of the streets. The day that your walls are to be built, that day will the decree be far removed. That day he will come even to you from Assyria, and the fortified cities, and from the fortress even to the river, and from sea to sea, and mountain to mountain. Notwithstanding, the land will be desolate because of those who dwell in it, for the fruit of their doings. Feed your people with your rod, the flock of your heritage, who dwell solitarily. The wood in the midst of Carmel, let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, like in the days of old. According to the days of your coming out of the land of Egypt will I show to him marvelous things. The nations will see and be confounded at all their might, and they will lay their hand upon their mouth. Their ears will be deaf. They will lick the dust like a serpent. They will move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They'll be afraid of Yahweh our Elohim, and will fear because of you. Who is like And who is an El like you, who pardons iniquity and passes by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He does not retain his anger forever, because he delights in mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion on us. He will subdue our iniquities, and you will cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. You will perform the truth to Jacob and the mercy to Abraham, which you had sworn to our forefathers from the days of old. End of chapter.
Zephaniah, chapter 3. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She did not obey the voice. She received not correction. She did not trust in Yahweh. She did not draw near to her Elohim. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones until the next day. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They've done violence to the law. The just Yahweh is in the midst of it. He will not do iniquity. Every morning does he bring his judgment to light. He does not fail, but the unjust know no shame. I have cut off the nations. Their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste so that none passes by. Their cities are destroyed so that there is no man, that there is no inhabitant. I said, surely you will fear me. You will receive instruction, so the dwelling would not be cut off. However, I punished them. But they rose early and corrupted all their doings. Therefore, you wait upon me, says Yahweh, till the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, so that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, all my fierce anger. For all the earth will be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, will bring my offering. In that day will you not be ashamed for all your doings, in which you have transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of you those that rejoice in your pride, and you will no longer be haughty because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of you an afflicted and poor people, and they will trust in the name of Yahweh. The remnant of Israel will not do iniquity, nor speak lies. Neither will a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they will feed and lie down, and none will make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. Yahweh has taken away your judgments, and he's cast out your enemy, the King of Israel. Yahweh is in the midst of you, and you will not see evil any more. In that day it will be said to Jerusalem, you fear not. To Zion, let not your hands be slack. Yahweh your Elohim in the midst of you is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over you with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over you with singing. I will gather those who are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of you, whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflicts you, and I will save her that halts, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise amongst all the people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, says Yahweh. End of chapter.
Ephesians chapter 4. I, therefore, the prisoner of Yahweh, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long-suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling, one Yahweh, one faith, one baptism, one Elohim and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of the Messiah. Wherefore he says, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts to men. Now, that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Messiah, till we all come in the unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of the Messiah, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive, but speaking the truth in love, may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even the Messiah, from whom the whole body, fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplies, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, makes increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. This I say therefore, and testify in Yahweh, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of Yahweh through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over to lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But you have not so learned the Messiah, if so be that you have heard him, and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yeshua, that you put off concerning the former manner of life the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Be ye angry, and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needs. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace to the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Yahweh for the Messiah's sake has forgiven you. End of chapter.